And a brand new report is revealing that more than 150 extremist groups are either participating in or supporting the DNC protests this week. Ryan Mauro is the investigative researcher who put that report together. He's also an expert on extremist groups and foreign threats. Joins me now to explain his findings. Ryan, break down exactly what your research showed.
Sure. So we looked at every group that we could find that is publicly involved in these protests, and altogether we found over 150, almost 160 of the groups are actually extremist groups. And by extremists, what I mean is they are groups that support Hamas or another foreign terrorist organization, or they support acts of terrorism like the October 7th attacks, or they support a revolution in the United States for the sake of communism or anarchism. So really extreme stuff. And within that group, what we found is that they are tied to or supportive of at least 9 hostile foreign governments that don't like the United States, like Iran, China, Russia, even North Korea. And they also support or are tied to almost 20 different foreign terrorist organizations. So this is an extreme bunch.
So to be clear, what you're saying is some of our major enemies, North Korea, Iran, China, they could be funding, I should say, these groups either directly or indirectly.
They may not even need to because they have this group of loyalists, this really big network that we've really drawn out at Capitol Research Center that they might just be able to operate on their own. I don't even know if they have to get orders because they're going to act on behalf of these governments and these foreign terrorist organizations anyway. But in fact, within that overall network, there's a few groups that formed a coalition to specifically disrupt and try to shut down the convention. And one of the groups, Samadoun, that's in that coalition is directly tied to an Iran-backed communist terrorist group called the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. I mean, like the leader of it is also part of the leadership of that terrorist group. So direct terrorist ties there to those that are trying to shut this thing down.
At the end of the day, I do not imagine all or, quite frankly, any of these protesters and the groups that they are aligned with are going to be voting for Donald J. Trump. So what is their ultimate goal in protesting the DNC?
This is a mafia-style shakedown. What they are saying to the Democrats is, well, first of all, they're lying. They're saying, we are a part of your base. We've been your loyal voters. They haven't been. Most of them have hated the Democrats because they're so in the extreme direction. They've hated them for a long time. But anyway, they say, we're your voters. You've lost us by not listening to us. And because you will not give in to our demands, we might not vote for you. And they've said they're willing to pay the price of having a Trump presidency if that delivers the message to the Democrats that they have to listen to them in the future, because so many of these radical groups, their bases of support are in swing states, places like Michigan and Minnesota. At the same time, we should also expect these groups to send a pitch to some parts of the Republican Party as well that have become more anti-Israel, in some cases even in the more anti-Semitic direction. So basically what this is a plot to hijack our political process, to say to both political parties, we decide who wins presidential elections, so which of you are going to make us happy?
Okay, and with that as the lead-in, what is their ultimate endgame, not just for the election in 2024, but for the far future? What is their endgame, Ryan?
Well, this is an alliance of Islamic extremists and communists, Marxists, and anarchists. All these groups, they've worked together before, but I haven't seen them quite fuse together like we're seeing right now. And the vast majority of them support Hamas. So what's their agenda? To make the United States essentially not a factor in world affairs, because that benefits the foreign governments that they support. It benefits the Hamas and groups like that. But they also do have ambitions within the United States. They're very open about the fact that they want to, as they put it, dismantle the system. And many of them have advocated or even participated in violence on American soil, economic sabotage, advocating the attacks on police. In many cases, these groups are basically terrorists themselves.
That is all terrifying. And it's all going to take place on our screens beginning in the next couple hours, if it's not already begun already. Ryan Mauro, really insightful stuff. Frightening, but insightful. Thank you, sir.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.